Hello, everyone. We are in chapter 16 of the Old Testament book of Judges. We're picking up at verse 23. And we have been looking at the final judge for the people of Israel within this book, Samson. As we've noted, the judges have become increasingly more flawed, and Samson had some really huge flaws, which have resulted in him getting into a whole lot of trouble. As we pick up the chapter, he has been taken captive. He's lost all of his strength because Delilah had his hair cut. The Philistines have torn out his eyes, and he is a shell of his former self. And now the Philistines are having a party, and they're celebrating the fact that they've taken out this great judge and ruler of Israel. And they've decided to bring him out and put him on display. So he is being told to stand between two pillars that happen to be in the center of this temple, and there's this great party being celebrated as they mock him and just look at, hey, there's Samson. Look at how feeble he is now. Now, Samson does something here that's really important for us to take note of. He has been utterly humbled by the circumstance he finds himself in. And maybe for the first time, we realize that he himself, like the people of Israel throughout this book, finding himself in a terrible circumstance, has figured out that he needs to turn to God to get help. And that's what's going to happen here as we pick it up at verse 28. Samson is standing there being mocked, blind and apparently weak. And here's what happens, beginning in verse 28. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, remember me again. Oh God, please strengthen me just one more time. With one blow, let me pay back the Philistines for the loss of my two eyes." Then Samson put his hands on the two center pillars that held up the temple. Pushing against them with both hands, he prayed, "Let me die with the Philistines." And the temple crashed down on the Philistine rulers and all the people. So he killed more people when he died than during his entire lifetime. In that final moment of Samson's life, he committed himself to God. He asked God for his mercy and help, and then he commits an act of sacrifice, which has at this point been very uncommon amongst the more recent judges. He sacrifices himself, and in doing so, he takes out all of the leadership of the Philistines and gives the people of Israel another shot at freedom and peace. Now, what are the people going to do with that? Well, we'll find out as we keep reading. But the moral of the story is that when we turn to God to rescue us, God will intervene. God gave Samson the strength to push these two center pillars that were the primary supports for a building, and the whole building collapsed. God can enter into even the most broken person's life and make things happen. It doesn't matter how broken your life might be. If you call on God, God can work through you to do amazing things. The call for us, though, is to recognize that the key theme, the one thing that is true in all of this book that we have read, is that when good things happen, God is a part of it. And that's what we need to hold on to is true for us. We need to recognize that it is in God's presence that good things happen. So may we, like Samson, in any circumstance, turn to God for help and count on God's grace to provide when we need it most. If we do that always, God will never fail us. We might not always understand how God is at work, but we do know this: He is on our side. So never forget that. Have a great day, everyone.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.